Well, guys, it's time to start the investigation.
Bizarrely, I'm in a really happy mood. Hooray! Let's investigate this brutal murder of a young, innocent girl.
We're the Bittersweet Gamers.
I'm so happy! I'm the Opinionator.
I'm We Squared.
Okay, now, last time we tried to start by talking to everybody, but we just missed Byakuya because that's how it works. Let's get going this time.
If you have time to talk, you have time to start investigating.
I'm glad you have so much faith in me, but why don't you do a little bit yourself?
Because that's why I hired you.
You're not even paying me! She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going over every inch of the lifeless body. It's something you have to do, but it doesn't exactly make you feel happy about it.
You're a very strange woman, you know. Being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble? Very suspicious, says the suspicious guy.
You're one to talk, Byakuya.
I don't go prodding corpses, Makoto.
It just seems to me like you'd be insulting people who wouldn't do that.
Nothing.
She seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us.
About normal, really.
Yeah. See if I can actually aim at Mondo successfully.
Here, I'll hold the bag for you. Dude had a real complex about being weak.
Yeah, that's how we're basically completely eliminating you from suspicion.
Right?
You were having like a really big, heartfelt conversation about this. It seemed like you were really caring and starting to grow close to her, so...
Right? You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh, I need to get stronger?
Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once.
Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here.
Yeah, she talked about it a couple of times, said she wanted to start working out. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls, especially if they're not even 5 feet tall, aren't all that strong.
Dude, don't say that where Sakura can hear you.
She is completely different. She's the strongest person on Earth. She is heaven's champion. She is an exception to the rule.
I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. I leave the thinking to other people.
The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help wondering what it might be, but maybe it has something to do with the fact that she was so meek. Okay.
All right.
This indeed is relevant.
I use this locker room all the time. Now, it's become the site of Chihiro's death.
But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than carried here.
She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her. But still, I still think she came here on her own, by choice.
I tend to agree with that. But what makes you say that?
She'd been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger.
So you're saying she came here to exercise. But, according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
Perhaps.
Hino or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then.
Avoiding it? As in...
Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up.
Yeah, she probably was...
Shy.
Like gym-timidation, I think it's called. Like being intimidated by a lot of the other people around you and not being... Like, sort of fear of being judged, which in this case would really mean nothing.
Yeah,
but she's still worried about it.
When she's stacking herself up against Sakura.
Right, the fact of the matter is that both Sakura and Aoi would be very happy to see her there.
Right.
And would be really encouraging and supportive. But that doesn't mean she's still not going to be ashamed of her own, like, less than 98-pound weakliness.
So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us.
And instead, she came to exercise in the middle of the night.
However...
Perhaps, but it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself.
Right, she just doesn't actually have the knowledge.
She needed support from others.
So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she also would have come with someone else. That is very important to keep track of. She may still have come by herself.
True, but it would mean that she would need to have come with another girl.
Not necessarily, but that is a strong possibility. I'm not willing to take that as the gospel just yet.
It's a possibility, I think.
Yeah, agreed. It's likely true, but...
It's important to keep in mind. Okay, we should start with the poster, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Darn it, I need to see the poster! Get out of the way, workout machine! The poster's got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder.
It's also very crinkled. Like it was taken off of the wall of the boys' room and brought in here.
Yeah, because why would this poster be in the girls' locker room? In
Right?
fact, I was even slightly confused when thinking about it
Because you thought it was the boys' locker room when we came here.
Yeah, kind of because of the poster.
Also of note, the blood stain beneath the poster.
Oh, we'll get right there. I just wanted to get another look. Yeah, it appears to be crinkled, and then there's the spatter only in like one place.
Mm-hmm.
No,
and it's not where Chihiro's hanging.
Right. There's a fresh blood stain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with blood during the murder.
In fact, there's not a drop under her.
In fact, when we first saw the place, I even remember remarking, there's not really much blood.
Right.
Even on Chihiro itself, which I suppose is consistent with the bludgeoning.
Right.
But like, for instance, here you can see that there's blood dripping down, but just not a lot on the floor.
And then that's clearly the murder weapon.
Right.
Maybe.
No, the cause of death was blunt object trauma, though we should refresh ourselves on the file.
That's true.
Okay, there's a dumbbell on the floor, and this is a blood stain. There's a blood stain on the dumbbell.
The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her.
Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon then?
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Now I believe it's about time for us to move on.
I haven't even looked at the body yet.
I believe it is about time for us to move on.
Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case.
That's true, but...
Let's go.
If you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed.
No, I need to look at Chihiro's...
Hmm.
He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time.
So we can't... I wonder what would have happened if we had tried to investigate the body first.
We'll get in there.
So, this is our next location.
What? This place is related to the investigation? Except, obviously it is! Dude!
Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right?
Yeah,
you are the most unhelpful person.
I'm totally leaving.
You've already spent plenty of time checking the crime scene.
Oi!
There are plenty of other things left to check here.
Oi!
I'm sure there'll be a moment in which we can do what we want, just like with the last investigation.
Yeah, you're
Maybe,
right.
or he'll just drag us along the entire way. Well, I feel like the most prevalent clue here is the chain gun.
We'll get to that.
That's not even the scene of the crime, idiot.
I do not like you bossing me around. I'm gonna go around and investigate everything. Jeez.
Well, I'm afraid you're my assistant.
Maybe this gun was used to... That is what we thought initially.
I still feel it somehow involved.
I assume it's relevant. But if that was true, Chihiro would be riddled with holes, and I don't really know if she was riddled with holes or not.
We didn't get a chance to check the body, Byakuya.
If I remember right, this card reader's meant to work with her handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma.
He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
You called for me?
I really don't actually want to talk to you at all, but... Has he been domesticated? That could be convenient. Could we just get him whenever we want?
Well, he's always watching.
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
This could be useful in the future.
Yeah?
For instance, Monokuma, I'm hungry. Go make me something to eat. If you don't, I won't kill anybody.
Well, if that's all it takes to get you to kill.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? I'm always happy to help.
So, it's just about this card reader.
Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook.
And it's no mistake that earlier there was a big discussion about
Swapping,
loaning out
yeah.
e-handbooks.
And it's impossible for 2 people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there was some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl.
Like you?
The ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter! And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct! I like you, Byakuya!
You would. So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room and only boys can go in the boys' locker room.
I suppose this is here in case we didn't go and talk to everyone before this event.
In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means...
Hey, Makoto, I can see right through you.
Yes? See right through me?
Allow me to tell you what you're thinking.
I bet you'll be wrong, but go ahead.
Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
Right?
So in other words...
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
Well, no, because
I mean, we did address that earlier, but...
you weren't here for the whole big discussion that was had. There's no guarantee that the killer was one of the girls, so it doesn't mean that it wasn't. We just don't have enough information yet.
At the moment, that seems the most simple.
I'm pretty sure, though, that...
Oh, well, obviously.
yeah.
Good lord, you're simple.
No! No! But am I wrong? Byakuya, will you please explain to me how someone could have gotten a handbook against the regulations?
You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited.
Just as we've been saying for several episodes now.
Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine.
It can be stolen, just not given out.
I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family.
To be fair, we didn't actually think about it like that, but, I mean, we nonetheless knew that there were going to be handbooks being shuffled around.
Right. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations.
These regulations kind of exist for the loopholes.
Bing bong! Knowing you, I bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things.
Exactly.
You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am.
I don't want to talk about eating you, bear.
Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things. That's why they have a blue reticle.
Screw off.
Yep.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it. So, I am unable to put things together.
So sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together.
Quit talking about my poop! That's none of your business!
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest your own damn self.
I was planning on it, and nor am I going to respond to your criminal negligence.
How about criminal negligee?
I'll kill you, bear! You just wait.
Flagpole.
I will get you, bear.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculty.
That's why you wanted me to be your assistant. Because I'm so stupid, right?
So I'll fill you in myself. Don't interrupt me. Let's head to the main hall.
He really is just dragging Makoto around. What a
D-bag!
We're not gonna get anything done like this. Why did you want me to do the investigating if you're just gonna drag me around and insult my intelligence the whole time?
So he can drag you around and insult your intelligence the whole time.
Let us actually look. Or is there some reason you don't want me to investigate this stuff?
Ah, that'll help you understand what's going on.
We came to the main hall. So what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself?
Screw you!
Make up your mind, Byakuya! Do you want to tell me what to look for and tell me how stupid I am? Or do you want me to look for myself? And if you want me to look for myself, can I look for myself, please?
Huh. Yeah, what's here that's going to be relevant?
Surely something. That's why we have to look around everywhere anyway. At the very least, to make sure that something isn't, that a place isn't relevant, you know?
Yeah.
No, what?
What the?
I just picked that place sort of randomly because I figured there would be nothing there.
Well, it is kind of the only thing here.
But in fact, there's an e-handbook in the mailbox. No, wait, there's 3 of them. So is this where they go? We assumed they'd be cleaned up, but I didn't think they would be instantly repurposed. Do they still have anything assigned?
Maybe.
Surely not. And that'd be too obvious, wouldn't it? Or at least you could get away with it once.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so what are they doing here?
So you finally found them.
Did you know these were here, Byakuya?
I happened to find them by chance myself the other day.
To be fair,
that's not suspicious.
To be fair, every time we have come in this room, we have investigated the mailbox,
that's
and Makoto
true.
would never open them, so we wouldn't find this.
That's true.
Which, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable.
It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox.
So then these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka.
You can go ahead and confirm it yourself.
So their data's still on it?
Huh!
That means that these have just been sitting here waiting for people to take them and use them. Man, if only we had, like, something to dust for fingerprints.
Right?
I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did... it just warms the cockles of my heart.
You keep your cockles out of this.
We're not talking about my poop, and we're not talking about my cockles. We're not talking about my flagpole. We are talking about Sayaka's handbook.
Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier.
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. The interesting thing is that it was returned, too.
You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine.
Red stealing, of course. I see.
Is it stealing, though?
Well, not
that's...
here, but if it was somebody else's.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
So it is very possible for a guy to have done it.
Right.
What?
Hold on a second.
You're trying to get me to the trial as fast as possible, aren't you? Why is that? What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on.
Aha! Is it broken? Whose is it?
The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up.
So it's Leon's. And the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs.
We don't need to go through the details, Byakuya. But we are anyway! Pummeled with baseballs.
Oh, that must be how it got broken.
Oh, there we go. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless, perverse death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault. That means that the other 2 handbooks are both...
Yeah, are females.
And a female handbook is all we need. Or all the killer needs.
Yeah, so that doesn't really narrow it down any.
No.
It still could be a guy or a girl.
Right.
Damn it!
Hey! Hey! It's Fat Albert! There's a reference for you.
What?
No!
Hey!
Be angry!
Hay is for horses. Honey and picnic baskets are for bears.
That e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal.
I didn't break it. Did you break it?
I guess. There's no way it would break that easily.
From being blasted with 1,000 baseballs?
He did say they were incredibly durable.
That's right, he did go out of his way to say that. I mean,
Like they're waterproof and they'll...
Are they durable enough to withstand gunfire?
Well, I think it would be pretty obvious if it had been shot.
Maybe not. It's like it had to have been hit by a couple of baseballs, and it seems like it's in good shape. Well, I mean, it did break.
That's impossible!
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't friggin' break!
We believe you, but it doesn't work.
It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't do crap!
What about bullets?
Oh, but even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point.
Battery life? It does?
I can't hear you!
Yeah, I said that quite on purpose.
The battery got taken out and put into the laptop.
Okay,
But
yeah,
it's
that's
a secret. I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
That's exactly what it is. Because we were wondering how that laptop was going to get turned on. The laptop is missing.
Chihiro was looking for something. Chihiro was looking for something in the warehouse.
You just can't keep those two straight, can you? At least you haven't started mixing up your Hifumis yet.
Thank God.
And then there's still the matter of the extension cord, which
was
strung
used to string
Chihiro
her up.
up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all kind of like that would have been that had to have been connected to the laptop.
Yeah.
So all that's connected in some way.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what its weakness was, right?
Oh, what's wrong, Byakuya? Why don't you figure it out for yourself? Don't you understand? Can't you see what's in front of your eyes? Neater, you can't see my incredibly irreverent dance.
Hard to say. You know what I think? I think this handbook isn't actually broken.
Yeah.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be?
Well, we got the tools. You can use the tools to disassemble part of the back, take the battery out, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Anyway, leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared.
So even he gave us a big hint right there. Again.
Huh.
You know, he's kind of a douche, but he does keep giving us help.
No, in this case, he's giving us help.
Yeah.
He was hostile and angry about it last time. What's that about? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now.
Yeah, well, I do. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers
Just
me.
file that away. Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit.
Okay, so what you were doing was trying to set up the core, immediately relevant information. Alright, I accept that.
You're still being a douche about it, but...
Yeah, you're so insulting to me all the time that I'm just gonna throw it all back in your face anyway. Right. We are going to find out who killed Chihiro.
To be exact, not quite.
Eh? Not quite?
What does that mean?
Well, look, finding out who did not kill Chihiro is just fine, too.
Yeah, process of elimination.
What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite.
Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack.
If that is relevant, you and me both, buddy. You really think? You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case.
Oh, Genocide Jack, eh? That murderous fiend. Genocide Jack, right?
There's nobody else it could be, except that's complete BS. It
Well-
could have been anyone who heard Chihiro talking about Genocide
Which
Jack.
was everybody
MO,
at that
Which was
time.
everyone. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method.
We wouldn't be surprised if Genocide Jack is here, but we wouldn't be surprised if Genocide Jack wasn't. However, thinking about it right there, if Genocide Jack were here, that would explain why Genocide Jack killed in order to protect the secret, why the secret was such a problem. Because it would matter for Genocide Jack.
Yeah,
Finding out
okay.
that Celeste is a gambling fraud and a cheat, like, that's not
Right.
so bad.
But
I mean, it's not that it's not bad, but I'm not going to get into that.
Right.
I just disagree with that being an unovercomable
Right.
problem in this
but
situation.
for Genocide Jack, who doesn't give a crap about killing anyways.
Yeah, but Genocide Jack is, like, charged with killing, like, over 1,500 people or some nonsense. You couldn't let that get out.
Right. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer?
I like how every time this comes up, Byakuya, you have this sort of rehearsed, and what nickname did the internet give to this? Every single time you say it like that.
Genocide Jack.
They say he's killed thousands of people, but that's gotta be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented psychotic killer like that?
Oh, hey, Lakoto, how's it going? Toko just wanders in.
Toko, your tongue is still lolling about. Put that back in and go back to your room.
You're not wrong to wonder.
Well, words mean little right now.
I have something that will prove it, and I can show you. Well, then show me!
Aha!
And I have a basis to believe that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us.
Is there really proof?
There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you need.
I do think it's interesting that this time around he is being extremely proactive. I appreciate that at least one person is being so proactive with this.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro.
I'm very interested in this if it's something outside of what we were already talking about. Is something like that really...
Ah, hey you two, I don't know who it is.
Big trouble, need your help!
I don't have time.
We're busy, leave us alone.
But it's an emergency! Emergency! Hey, we don't actually have very much time to do this, so...
Right?
Come on, please, you gotta help me! This is a serious emergency! Please, 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 you gotta help me! Oh,
I bet her e-handbook's missing.
That's gotta be it. Just calm down, okay, Hina? But it's an emergency!
Juko?
An emergency? What happened? Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, is she acting stranger than she was before? Well, what should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit, I'm intrigued.
Uh-huh.
I suppose we could take a second to see what's going on with her.
Yeah, you bet, master. Are you sure?
That's my fetish. Don't make me repeat myself.
No, repeat that again, would you? I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Hurry! Wait for us!
It looks like she headed to the dorms. To Toko's room, most likely.
I'll hurry after you as soon as I've looked at every other accessible place. Oh.
Or it's just gonna run us here. That's fine, too. Freedom! Or not. I thought we'd be able to run around and do stuff, but you know, this game does let us know when it's not time to faff around, and I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Especially since we're doing a Let's Play of it.
I really wanted to run around, though. You guys are too slow. You just took off and ran away for 5 minutes. I think you're just too fast.
So, what's this emergency?
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out, and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Since I'm here, I might be able to get through to her.
That's a really good point. We did think back in the day that there was a chance that if anybody was going to be Genocide Jack...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was nothing but speculation, but Toko was the person we specifically suspected. The door swung open, slowly and silently.
Jesus!
Well, at least she doesn't look ridiculous right now.
I don't know about that!
Holy crap! An aura of pure negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
I'm also kind of worried.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
If you say no, it only makes you look more suspicious.
Right?
Won't allow it.
I got Byakuya over here.
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
Well, that just pretty much says it, doesn't it?
I mean, basically we were completely correct about the whole affair. And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. Huh. Never would have imagined that a romance author would be a serial killer. Okay, that's also so obvious that I doubt it.
Yeah, well, I believe I said before that the whole bloodlust thing is far too obvious.
Yeah, I mean, we could be wrong.
Well, Byakuya says he's got proof that Genocide Jack did it, but that... Nah.
I'm still just suspicious of it being
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, we were suspicious about Leon. We thought he was a red herring.
And then he was.
Yeah, but it's like fairly quickly we learned that wasn't a red herring. So this is just something we're keeping in mind anyway. What the heck was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago.
Bleh. Oh, no. Okay. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door, but it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it.
Huh.
Could be another person back there. It could be something set up.
Maybe, yeah.
Toko was scared enough to even bar her door. Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared, or...
But
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her?
That's you! Ah, damn cold.
Yeah, you should really go get that looked at, but I guess you can't get into the nurse's office. Why did I look right there?
Because that's how short Makoto is!
I don't want to look at flagpoles and cockles! Hey, Byakuya, this is a job for you. I mean, you're the object of her fetish, so come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever.
That's really why you came here anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow. I guess you're not always an asshole.
Your positivity sickens me.
Never mind. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
what do you want?
Leave me alone! You're all so annoying.
At least she actually answers the door.
That's true. Ah! Bacula!
It's
What?
Byakuya.
Bakura or something is what she was calling him.
Sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
Okay, you need to actually indicate to us that you are not Genocide Jack, alright? Because this seems extremely important to know.
Right?
And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off.
There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation.
If she didn't open up to talk to you,
And don't
she's
ask
not
me
gonna
about
talk
that
to
promise
anybody.
either.
I was there, dude. Hold on. Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now?
Not the shower thing, was it?
Something about a promise?
No, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure.
She must have talked to him another time after the escort mission that we did, taking her to the library.
Yeah, probably.
But
Stop talking.
If I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her.
you are totally full of crap, but I don't think you're hiding anything that's relative or important to the investigation in any case. Liar. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go.
Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away, dragging me along as usual.
That's not suspicious, Byakuya. Are you sure you're not the murderer, and you're staging this whole thing to cover your tracks?
And I hurried to catch up. I think the only people that we can eliminate at 100% are Asahina and Sakura, right? I really want to say Mondo, but...
Yeah, I don't think Mondo would have done it.
No, but even if we throw him
Okay, you're
here,
saying 100% though.
Yeah,
There is a small percent that... Okay.
Yeah, I think that
And Toko.
Sakura... I think that Sakura and Asahina are the only people who couldn't have done it. I tried to do something, but I forgot to read the line. But he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking toward his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of the library.
No.
Oh my god, it really is the library!
Of course it was! Come on, let's go in.
You gonna show me inside that one room? You know, the one you didn't ever want to let us go in?
Is he going to reference, like, the missing table?
Bib-a-dop-dop-doo-ba-doo-doo. If I remember, on the other side of this door is the archive, right?
Hurry up and go inside.
No, I wanted to look around! Arg, I'm railroading myself!
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside.
I needed to verify more evidence!
You're never going to get a chance.
I'll kill you!
Stab.
Okay, that's it. The episode's over then. You already stabbed me. Whoa. There's a lot of books and files on account of this being the archive. And so much dust, too.
So, in other words...
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust.
Without question.
I'm going to hide behind these boxes.
So it does seem like there's pretty much no way that Genocide Jack is not Toko. But you were just thinking, Billy.
Yeah, I don't think that Genocide Jack is the one behind this. I mean, they focus so much on the E-pads to get into the doors, and if Toko is Genocide Jack, she wouldn't need to do any E-pad shenanigans to get in. Right. She would just use her own E-pad.
Well, it's an E-handbook.
E-handbook, whatever. And it's like, I feel like Byakuya is kind of trying to ram this investigation in a specific way and completely denying any other possibilities, and I just find that a little suspicious.
I don't know.
That's just me.
It's not that I necessarily disagree with it so much, but it could be that he's sort of taking charge of the whole affair. I mean, that's the sort of stuff we were talking about. He's just doing it from the other end.
Yeah, but it's like not even letting us investigate the body. I guess maybe because Kyoko was already investigating the body. I don't know. He just felt like it might be more time efficient if we did something else.
Well, if Toko is Genocide Jack, that would definitely explain why one person had some memories that they did not want to...
Yeah.
Or had a secret they didn't want to get out.
Right.
But that also would... And that would explain all her weird behavior, of course.
True.
But the stuff she was saying, she, ran away and,
abject terror.
Kid was like, I am not letting Genocide Jack out.
Yeah.
And it seems like somebody else here may know about it.
Right? I mean, Chihiro was the one who brought up Genocide Jack.
Yeah, in the first place.
And, okay, if Genocide Jack is supposed to kill and murder people in such a bizarre and brutally sadistic way, clonking her over the head with a dumbbell? Well, I mean, yeah, she was strung up kind of gruesomely, but that doesn't really feel like ultimate serial killer, you know what I mean?
That is true, but not necessarily. I don't know. These are things we're thinking about at present. Well, there's a wooden box, and it's empty. Although judging by the smudges and the dust, it looks like there was something inside.
That makes perfect sense.
Wonder what it was.
There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library.
Yeah, we saw it and kept talking about it, too. And the extension cord, of course, is the one that Chihiro was strung up with.
Right.
That we didn't get a chance to investigate.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I understand how game structure goes. Just like the Ace Attorney games, it's not like you can miss evidence. And we, in the last trial, we were really pleasantly surprised that the other characters will point out information.
Contribute stuff, yeah.
that we, the player, didn't have the opportunity to get. So that stuff is going to come out in the...
That's also really efficient at making it harder for us to guess what's going on.
That's true. It means that since we couldn't look at Chihiro's body, that we weren't really going to be able to look at Chihiro's body to really notice this. And just like you said, it kind of keeps the flow, which is interesting. I like that. Anyway, an extension cord, eh?
You're such a sellout, Makoto.
Shut up! And it's a desk lamp, the most suspicious item here. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp?
Probably not.
Well, what about... It was here before, then I moved it over there.
Yeah, it's a lamp.
But
it's here
there's
for
a
use.
lamp on the desk. Another one.
Well, maybe it didn't work.
It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use.
I mean, it might be relevant, but I'm not suddenly going to get suspicious of a desk lamp.
You should be suspicious of everything.
I mean, not at this time.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of files stuffed onto the shelf. What's in all these things?
Enough.
Those documents are dangerous.
This academy is dangerous.
Right?
If indeed this academy is even where we are. Dangerous.
They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner, Illuminati confirmed.
I'm not going to talk about this at length, but I will file that away for future reference. You mean like members of the Diet or something?
No, I mean the ones with real power, the secret council controlling everything from the shadows.
And organizing whatever it is this is?
Yeah. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there.
So, you're not a commoner, so you already got to take a look, but you don't want anybody else's vision of the world being ruined or something?
Maybe he already knew.
It's entirely possible, yeah. I still think that that's probably pretty relevant to our current situation, but I'll leave it at that. You're kidding, right?
Am I?
I'll just let this go for now, though this seems extremely relevant. Why would this be in a random school? I get that this school is something special, but are we even in this school?
Right?
Another shelf stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random.
You have a sharp eye indeed to select that file.
That's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now?
This is a really interesting place. I would love to take a long time looking in here, but...
There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it.
We only have so much time anyway. This is interesting, but this is more of a free time, fun time.
Would you like to look at confidential files with Byakuya?
Oh, without making a sound, I return the file to the shelf. There's a ton of thick files stuffed onto this bookshelf.
If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful.
Oh joy! Blood and guts and gore and violence.
All those files are investigation reports related to different cold cases.
Is this like the world headquarters or something?
Right? Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. So why are they available to us?
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't even thought of it from that perspective. Why is this information made available to us? This information is being opened up by Monokuma at a specific rate, at an intentional rate. So this has now been made available to anyone who wants to take the time to look here.
Right. So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here.
That makes sense. I guess you weren't just reading detective novels to polish up on your investigation skills, huh?
It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent?
Well, we have other things to do, though. I mean, what are we doing here again?
Well, you have to actually talk to me.
This is freaking messed up.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie.
Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but, I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together?
I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps, the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored.
I think it's a bit more than that, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Let's move back to the case. No, this is freaky, but oh my gosh, this is important to the entire world? Who knew?
What's wrong? You still can't believe it?
What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like this are usually impossible.
What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple, those things don't exist anywhere in the real world.
I know that.
If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything.
Well, Makoto is Makoto. You don't pull your punches, though, do you?
Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt.
Oh? Hold on a second. You're saying you read all these documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why cringing on the inside, crying, but okay.
My family has a reading room just like this in our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty.
Huh?
Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, you called me a commoner, right?
That includes foreign powers as well as domestic.
Yes, ultimate progeny and all that. But how is that even possible?
So in other words...
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will.
This kind of messed up.
But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me.
I mean, I do it.
Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing.
This is beyond believing or not believing. The idea is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind.
And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites...
Did you ever let the police know? Or are you so busy being, the world doesn't apply to your not being usual, not being normal, not being common sense, that such petty matters as people's lives are beneath you?
Is the Genocide Jack case.
As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood.
Okay.
And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Ah!
Now, other people had access to this library. Byakuya wasn't here 24/7.
That's true. That's true.
So somebody could have attempted to pin it on Genocide Jack, forgetting
Okay.
Toko.
Okay.
Just like completely forgetting Toko at all, by trying to pin it on Genocide Jack. That like it's kind of freak people out. Like, oh no, there really is a serial killer here, and it would make a lot of the students kind of go a little.
Unnerve them greatly.
Unnerved, and make them more prone to panic and make errors.
Yeah.
It makes it a hard time to go through it, and using the cold case documents,
Right,
or
right.
the case file for Genocide Jack himself, they're able to make it pretty genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great way to try and pin it, especially if you somehow knew who Genocide Jack was. You'd be able to use that to pin it on someone.
Yeah.
And then everybody could be figuring out who Genocide Jack is. They figure out who Genocide Jack is, and that's not the person who did it.
Right, right.
Which makes Byakuya even
More
more
suspicious
than he
because
already
yeah.
was. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro.
Because Chihiro didn't mention anything about suspension.
Right.
Save your surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended,
You're really having way too much fun with this, man.
the only ones who know about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out.
Okay, I get that.
In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim.
I do know that in some investigations, details will purposefully be kept secret, like important details.
Yeah.
In order that if somebody mentions those details,
Yeah, lure 'em out.
then it makes them more suspicious because they obviously had information that wasn't publicly released. Even if like that stuff should be obvious, that sort of information is being controlled.
Right.
So,
Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion.
So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim? I say, standing in this library archive looking at this book.
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in
The
other
culprit
words,
isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
I mean, it's certainly a possibility.
In other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us.
I'd like to believe you here, but doesn't this appear like you were really
Yeah.
railroading us right to thinking this when you're already the person?
Who has all the information too?
Then Genocide Jack really is such a brutal, fiendish killer, really is walking around among us?
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they?
Byakuya even already said that he had solved these cold cases. And he's got all this information. He already had previous information available outside of Hope's Peak Academy here.
Yeah.
So that means he may have been able to figure out Genocide Jack's identity himself.
Yeah,
And now he's going to try and lead us
gotcha.
to Toko, right? Assuming Byakuya is guilty.
Right.
But remember, he did not say no, and Makoto was surprised about this when going to see Toko.
Yeah.
If this theory is true, then Byakuya is trying to convince us that Toko is Genocide
Yeah.
Jack. That's why he acted out of character like that.
That's true. I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game.
Now, I'm not super sold on this hypothesis, but this is something to keep in mind.
Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. F you!
So, Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file, could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time.
One of these days, I will kick you in the cockles so hard.
You'll never get a flagpole. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Why not?
Well, it doesn't really matter either way. I mean, information control, and he's trying to keep control of some degree
Yeah.
of authoritative information, but Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I'd reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. As we look at them,
Well, I think there's an important detail in every crime scene so far.
right, we get the handwriting.
And the scissors. They've all been killed with multiple stab wounds from scissors.
So far, yes.
Custom.
They're also very, very bloody.
Yes.
I mean, because of the blades, I would assume.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if this keeps going like that. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kanno Issei, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohisa, Takeshi Masamune, Yuto Yumejima. There is no end to it. One thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood.
Now take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit.
The next page. Profiling results. All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student.
I see.
Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic.
Aha!
Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests, indeed, that Toko is Genocide Jack.
That the killer has a split personality.
That the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder, just like we called it.
So, in other words,
The key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality.
Split personality, like the kind of thing you see on Toko? I mean, TV! So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now.
It's the ultimate unbelievable story!
Except it's totally not. Actually,
Right.
I think this entire situation is the most unbelievable. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon.
Where next, Byakuya-sama?
Anywhere but here. We've finished our business here, haven't we?
Wait, Byakuya? We going back to Toko now?
Yeah, I guess.
As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up.
Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial.
Just all of a sudden like that.
I don't have time.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own, thank God.
I never, ever thought for 1 minute that I would suspect you in this. You have just made yourself extremely suspicious.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye.
And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around.
Well, good, we can investigate on our own terms.
Like I was just some plaything getting tossed around, potentially manipulated.
So he could plant the idea in our brains and then let it percolate.
Coffee does sound good right now. Genocide coffee?
I don't want anything with genocide in the name.
Fair enough.
Especially food-related.
At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him.
Except maybe genocide nachos. Those sound good.
Genocide nachos! Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. And to do that, I have to remind myself that there's something extremely suspicious about the way one particular student has been asking. Anyway, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too, and the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Alright, Lamp.
Reveal your secrets!
You may have been suspicious in the past. This lamp, why isn't it turning on? It really was broken.
It's not plugged in!
Or there's that.
The cord is missing!
Oh, it's not plugged in. No, I'm not looking at the desk.
Ah, we found a coin buried in the dust.
Well, well.
Oh!
So Byakuya carried off the case file because he doesn't want anybody to get too much of a look at it.
Probably not.
Notice the blade.
We should still be able to see it in our truth bullets.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean,
of course it's Byakuya.
yeah.
I mean, the problem with the scissors or the blades, like that could be very important.
Well, I mean, do you think she's would have been kidnapped with them? I mean, some of them seem to have their personal belongings.
No, but anybody with access to a girl's handbook could go into a girl's room and pick out their scissors from their sewing kit.
That's true.
They would even have access to 2 pairs of scissors if they were being that type of careless.
That's true.
That may be relevant. It may not be relevant.
So it's not going to show us the picture. Okay.
It may not be relevant, and I can accept that, but I would also want to think about it
Well, I'm
being
curious about, like, the handwriting.
Oh, it was the same. I looked
was
at
the
it.
same? Okay.
I looked at it before. I'm 99% sure, anyway. So why would Byakuya carry the lamp back here? It's probably not relevant, but...
I imagine if it wasn't added to our truth bullets, it's not that important, but...
You got anything, dude?
Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all.
I'm with you on this.
Damn it! I'm sorry, Chihiro! It's all because I wasn't strong enough!
You got anything, man?
I got all kinds of stuff, bro.
You generally aren't useful. You want 100 Monokuma coins for fortune telling, maybe?
20% accuracy.
Oh, hey, Makoto.
What's up? Ha! I haven't been up to anything myself, that's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. Why did I say that?
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty dumb for a psychic, aren't I?
I suppose we're not going to get any further information about checking the battery.
Right, probably
Or
not.
something like that.
That may come up in the trial itself.
There's no way, even Makoto just said, there's no way that isn't relevant.
Right. I mean, Yasuhiro did just say he looked at it, so he might bring something up in the trial.
I'm sure that lots of people have looked at it by this point.
Right.
Or maybe not. I'm pretty surprised. I thought we'd wrap up the investigation in one episode. Doesn't look like we're gonna, but we're gonna go just a little bit further.
Yeah.
I am sort of surprised that Byakuya basically, confirmed the Illuminati.
Yeah!
Spent quite a lot of time doing that. There's no way that isn't relevant
Right.
to what's going on. In a pretty obvious way, in a way that's so obvious, I kind of feel like... I mean, we already assumed that this was like Battle Royale,
Yeah.
like sort of a government-sponsored deal, but it makes it more suspicious... BM talk good.
Yes.
Like the Byakuya's secret council, like
Right.
this could be a secret council sponsored deal.
Yeah.
So, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out and she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. Surely there's no connection, right? No, of course not. So, I just left her there.
How responsible!
You left her by herself. Well, my head was all swimmy.
Was that a pun?
I was getting pretty hungry. Oh, but don't worry. I'm going to head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating? A donut, of course! It is vitally important that you know this! Of course? There's 2 things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts.
That is very strange.
Okay. I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Oh, I should have tried to spend more time with her.
No, it's okay.
Come to think of it, who did she spend time with? Well, I mean, the person starts with a saw and ends with a kura.
Yeah.
Well,
And she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Well, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to work out with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just that shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex?
Not when you're so small and mousy and everyone else is so developed.
Oh, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right?
Oh, Asahina.
You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl.
That's important? I guess so.
It very well might be important.
Yeah. Yeah, especially since we're still, like, trying to determine, like, guy or girl went in after her and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I had this bizarre random-ass idea that Chihiro might be a guy, actually.
All right, important event in the warehouse.
What do you have to say?
What have you found? Or what are you doing here? Or who are you? Or let me just ask a battery of questions. This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. Oh, I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Probably not.
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless.
Someone was murdered, woman.
Are you making fun of me? Well, you did find something then. Very well. I will tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse.
Well, we saw her here.
Right, and we also were assuming she might have been looking for
Like a power
charger
cord
for
or
the
something.
laptop.
Yeah.
Or a power cord, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Huh.
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
That's probably what she was getting.
Maybe. Yeah, towels.
What? How did you
You
know?
got a duffel bag.
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Suspicious all around.
Yes.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. I mean, Chihiro was extremely shy.
Yep.
And was shy about it working out too, so that might be why she tried to hide it. Or there could be more in a variety of different directions.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few different ways that our theorizing could go, but we're going to hang on to that for right now.
You get what you deserve, I suppose.
I'm so glad we talked to her.
So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which would mean that the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow.
Okay, who's on trash duty? Maybe the reason Chihiro didn't want to go exercise with anyone is because she can't get into the girls' locker room. Maybe Chihiro is a guy.
I like how instead of being taken over by Ryuji, now you've been taken over by Byakuya.
I gotta be taken over by the right person in the right game. In fact, that could have been what triggered the chain gun. Chihiro trying to go into the woman's...
I don't know, the more I think about it, the more that offhand comment would actually fit
Makes
with
a lot
of
of sense.
things.
Yeah.
What a bizarre thing to suddenly be thinking about.
Don't question to it. Don't look too far into it.
That really might be relevant, though. Wouldn't that kind of answer everything in the neatest of neat little bows?
Yeah?
I wish we could talk to Kyoko. Because Kyoko's already been poking and prodding around. I guess we're gonna have to do that too, although the game won't let us. It'll come up from Kyoko.
Right,
100%.
But I bet we'll find her duffel bag in the boys' locker room.
Yeah, I am really wanting to take a look inside that boy's locker room, huh?
Ding, ding, ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit!
What'd you draw for me, man?
I feel
Another stat increase for me!
Your knowledge improved. Evidence? So, what do you got?
I cannot reveal that just yet. Wait till the trial.
That's it. I'm sure of it.
But I guarantee that what I've found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs!
Are you sure that it won't just be something that I have to smack down with a couple of selections? You know, something in the non-stop debate and then have to like pick something with evidence? I bet it is. Okay. Where's the track jacket?
There's a different poster up. A poster that should be in the girls' locker room. It's a boy band.
And
It is also crinkled.
okay, that crinkling may not actually be crinkling. Just saying. It probably is. But, well, I guess we'll find out in a moment. Okay, so this poster, it's a popular boy band called Tornado. Dude in the front has some crazy hair. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room.
There's a stain over there I can't help but notice.
Oh, look at that. I did keep trying to go in the boys' locker room.
Yup.
Game didn't want us to see this stuff at that time.
But now it does.
There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? No way to tell at all, huh?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not
we
a-
don't have a forensics lab.
It's not a blood stain.
I think there's only one other place we can go before the girls' locker room, and that's to check the locker at the pool.
Anything in here? Maybe there's some kind of clue in the lockers. Then,
Oh,
guess not. Okay, that's
worth
fine.
a shot! All right, moment of truth.
Finally time to take a look at that body. Chihiro's complex.
If he was a boy, I mean, he's even weaker than Makoto.
I can't help but notice that with a difference of 4 inches in height, the chest size on Makoto and Chihiro is remarkably the same. Or rather, Chihiro's is smaller in like a proportionate manner. And we know she's a high schooler.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
You
what
know-
if it was some sort of like his parents made him dress up like that and act like a girl? Because that's a common trope.
I suppose so. I wasn't necessarily thinking like that, and I'm not entirely convinced. But one can't help noticing all the piling up evidence.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, okay? I'm not willing to commit to anything, and I'm just filing this stuff away. Aha! Just like we had done before, you know, the blood is the most noticeable part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model in the girls' locker room is pretty noticeable, too. A girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Oh, wait, that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... Okay, there's something weird about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band.
Chihiro was killed in the boys' locker room, and that's why the poster had to be switched too.
Yes, that's it.
Yep.
I had to take a second to run through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Could the posters have been switched, like we were just saying? But if they were, comment. Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little bit about Chihiro's body. I mean, the locker rooms.
Oh my.
Kyoko is already in there.
Yep.
Although, maybe phrasing it like that is odd. So, let's talk about flagpoles. Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of.
No! I want to talk about things!
Cockles and flagpoles.
Something besides the investigation. What would that be?
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder.
No, actually, I think this is pretty relevant to the investigation, if I have any idea what you're thinking about. But
so then,
Before I go, let me give you one piece of advice.
yes?
You should examine Chihiro's body one more time. Thoroughly.
Okay!
Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
Of course her handbook is missing. It has to be missing because if somebody looked at it,
goodbye.
and Byakuya was like, how strange! I am so dark and always complain about things. I have no fear. I am willing to kill. But it sure is weird that you're poking that dead body, huh? Why are you doing that? This is out of character.
That's it. That's it. I'll be praying for your success.
And with that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. Well, I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing. That's definitely worth worrying about.
It would only make sense that if someone killed someone, they would then take their handbook.
Not against the rules. You get an advantage. You need to dispose of it. But I think in this case, it was taken to prevent,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
because they'd turn it on and be like, ooh.
Err.
You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're the athletes. Remaining athletes. Okay, then let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I've never really paid any attention to the posters.
I imagine there isn't anything that can break your concentration when you're doing something like that. Okay.
However,
But there is something that's bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising.
Protein coffee? Okay, that sounds awesome. You have protein coffee.
In the warehouse, it's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain.
There we go. We got it, huh? A stain.
Because the blood's on the carpet, so he had to switch that too.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly, I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared.
And Sakura can't walk into the boys' locker room.
That's true.
I mean, she can actually, but nobody else is.
Right.
Well, because, you know, right now all the doors are open.
Yeah. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with.
Perceptive as always, Sakura. The hard part, then, is, in fact, being able to pin it on somebody, Byakuya or somebody else.
Right?
Anything else with the dumbbell?
It's like, you know, I'd say maybe Toko wasn't strong enough to lift that, but we've seen people impaled on walls by scissors, so obviously when she's Genocide Jack, she's way stronger.
I don't think we need to think about that unless it becomes relevant. Or,
Well, oftentimes in like split
No,
personalities cases, as far as tropes go, if you have an aggressive personality, they tend to be stronger.
yeah, like something like the adrenaline
Yeah.
hormonal component.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in real life, but I'm willing to buy that Toko could do that
Yeah.
if it were Toko.
But we're not buying that it's Toko.
Just like in all those other Genocide Jack cases. At every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. Okay.
Well, only one thing left to look at.
We'll save the groping for next time. Still not sure that I know who did it. Although we're obviously pretty suspicious of at least Byakuya.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Later.